what's up? So talk about how a little bit of how you got started with the content creation, bro.
All right, so that didn't happen until like a year or two later. 2 years later, after I got out of school, I was already making a name for myself in the barber industry, right? Like I was doing barber battles, I was winning and shit. I had a great list of clientele. Like I was popping wherever, you know what I mean? I was super lit as a barber. Even coming out of school, I was already winning barber battles. So I was like a D1 draft pick coming out of barber school. I could go to all the dopest barbershops in the Bay Area, even all the way to Sac. People in Sac was asking me to work in Sac. Like the dopest shops was like, come work here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But what I decided to do was I decided to go be by myself in Antioch at a shop where I was going to be the only barber. Because I had already worked in a couple of shops while I was in school. So I already kind of had an idea of what I was doing. So I'm like, I don't even want to go to a shop that's established. I'm finna just eat, right? I'm like, because I was already in that mindset, like, I'm going to eat regardless, like, because of all the stuff I had went through that we had just talked about, I was in a different mindset. I'm like, I want to do it this way. I don't want no help. And everybody's like, you sound crazy. So I'm like, oh, for real? I love hearing it. Like, you sound crazy. I'm finna do it then. And that's what I did. And I ended up just start buzzing. So I focused on that for like the first like 2 years. And if I didn't, content wouldn't be a possibility because a lot of my content other than the skits is the gems and like the game that I give out to the young barbers. And if I didn't do the 2 years hard, 7 days a week, 9 in the morning to 11 o'clock at night, I didn't take a break for like the first like 2-3 years. You feel me? Yeah. And if you include barber school, that's like 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
And you're doing content like while you were coming up too? Or
this is when I'm just posting before and after.
Oh, okay.
At this point, but I have to do all this to even have the concepts to make the content, you feel me? Because even in my skits, it's relatable because it's a real life situation. I just made it funny. But
like, did you make like just videos of you just cutting hair regardless of like?
Yeah, always. No, so I was posting, I was always trying to find cool ways to post haircuts, but I wasn't trying to be a personality.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So like, I had built up like 2,000 followers of local people for haircuts.
Yeah.
Or like other barbers that like.
And then you got more into the skits of like barbering and all that. Okay. I got you.
Maybe like 2 years, 3, almost like 2.5 years into me already.
Because I feel like barbering and like even tattooing is like kind of almost the same thing where like you guys promote the art as a tattoo artist to where barbers, they promote like, you know.
Oh yeah, without no social media right now, it's a lie. It's going to be a hard journey for you. You know what I'm saying? For sure. So I was already doing before and afters, trending sounds, stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, I was hitting a little bit, but I wasn't worried about being an influencer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was not my goal. I just wanted clients. And that's what I tell barbers now. You don't have to be an influencer, but if you want to get clients, this is how I did it. And I did use a lot of Instagram to get a lot of my clients. Because I would just make every haircut I did, take a picture, post on your story, tag the dudes you posted, and be like, I didn't care. Before you even got out this chair, you finna repost this. You feel me? And I made sure everything was getting reposted. And like I told y'all earlier when we was talking outside, you cut one leader of each friend group, they all gonna get cut. And that's what I was doing. But yeah, so fast forward after a little bit, like 2.5, 3 years into like me just grinding, right? Fresh out of school. I end up finally starting to settle this court case. Right? Because after I had built out, now I had waited for like another 11 months to go to court. And then I finally started going to court. The crazy thing is I had actually relapsed, right? I had been sober for a while and I had relapsed. And now I didn't know they were going to drug test me this day. And we go in there and they're like, yeah, you need to drug test so you can get into, basically be eligible for probation and get into drug court and shit. And I was like, oh shit. And I pissed dirty. And they were like, okay, I'm thinking I'm going to jail today. But my lawyers, and even the lawyer, he's like, I ain't gonna lie, dude, you're fucked. Those are the exact words. He's like, you're fucked, dude. I was like, what? I'm like, huh?
Like, you supposed to be my lawyer. I was supposed to have faith in you. My lawyer.
Somehow, because I've already been through this justice system shit. And I'm like, bro, just talk about how you really you fucked up, you relapsed, you had just got sober, like tell them you go back to a program and shit. So I'll go back to an outpatient program. I'll piss test every week, whatever you want to do. They're like, you're going to piss test twice a week. And either you can come all the way out here to do it, or you can pay for it yourself and go back home. I'm like, well, fuck, now I'm going to have to pay for it myself. I'm paying like $150 twice a week to piss test for them. Yeah. Feel me? At like a lab court. You know what I mean? Like with just people trying to get jobs and I'm trying to stay free and shit. You're not supposed to go there for these kind of drug tests. And then yeah, so I did that for like a month or two. I had a caseworker and shit, and I would check in with that fool. And so at the time, you can't even smoke weed, right? So I'm like, fuck, I'm so bored. I'm sober as a motherfucker. Like, you can't even drink because they're alcohol testing. Yeah. So I'm sober than a motherfucker. Can't even smoke, drink, nothing. All I can do is smoke cigarettes. And I'm like, I'm hella like, I need something to like fucking like just think of, like do and fucking, once I get into something, what's the word I'm looking for? I like over excel, or like I binge on it, or like I just get way too into it. It's like an ADHD, hyper focus. It's like an ADHD trait. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I really, but I'll do it until I master it, and then like, but I'll be so hyper fixed on it, like just so focused on it. That's it. Like I'm tweaking, staying up till 2 a.m. watching YouTube videos and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I get like that, and I'm like, until I figure out where I get where I want to be, I'll tweak. You know what I mean? I run myself just like ragged doing it. But so I was like, I'm gonna start making content because I was bored. So I was saying, I started making those little like the trending sounds, like voiceovers, funny ones. I was going for the funny ones. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, funny sells, right? And I was like, if I can make it to where the other barbers can relate to it, people will repost it. I was like, all right, cool. And most of my followers at that time were barbers, so that made the most sense. Or the client of a barber. You know what I'm saying? So make it about one or the other, or about both. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I started doing that, and I did it for like a couple of weeks, and I was kind of doing it like every couple of days, every day or every other day. It wasn't that consistent. And I got 1 million, like, and the milli happened in like 3 days. Like I just remember it went 100K, and then I woke up the next day, it was like 300K, and I woke up the next day, it was like 1 million. And it was
it's pretty far.
This little you know, it's no 79 nigga. I swear you gonna die, nigga. The little nigga, Baby Reed. Yeah, it was his sound, his freestyle, and I was like, and I just played the sound. I like had me with the clippers, standing behind this chair, like gigging to it. I was just gigging to it, right? And I made it like, and I put like POV. You make Lil Bro rap for a free lineup, and that shit went fucking viral, bro. And I kept going after that, like. But I still wasn't being that consistent. But like that's as it's going to 1 million. Like I think the next one, by the time it hit 1 million, I had just posted my next video. That was like 3 days later. But that's when my girl was like, "You could do this for real. Like you just got 1 million. You're just getting all these followers." Like I went from like 3,000 to like 6,000, 7,000 followers in like a couple of days. So I'm like, all right. So the next one I think I did, I slapped my partner in the back of the head with some powder, and we made it look, it's not even real, but we made it look so real, and he chased me around the shop and everything, and we made it look so real that everybody thought it was real, and that was my 2nd million, and I posted that like, literally that was like my follow-up video to that.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then from there I just went crazy, and then hard on it. I was telling y'all, I started geeking, and I got on YouTube, and I was like, I literally searched how to sustain Instagram growth or some shit like that from viral video. And then I started watching all these different dudes that were showing me how they would grow their whole page, like 10,000 followers in 90 days, right? It was basically post once a day, every day for 90 days, but make sure you post good shit, like relative, educational, or funny. But if you can do all three, you're gonna ding, 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 win the prize. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's when I started. That was my formula from there. And then I just started figuring it out. And then I started doing different, you know what I mean, skits. And then I got into actual skits, not just the voiceovers. Like every Friday I ever reenacted, or every movie, like All About the Benjamins or Paper Soldiers or something like that I ever reenacted as a child growing up, like to perform in front of. I used to do that. So I used to watch like hood movies and then reenact them and perform for my aunties and shit.
That's hella fun.
And you know what I mean? Like my favorite characters was like any of my Gibbs characters, like Day Day or like Reggie from All About the Benjamins, or like any of those hood movies, bro. That was my shit. So like when I started doing the skits, it was like, this is easy. You know what I'm saying? I just use movie references as my foundation, but then kind of just related to barbering. And then I had unlocked this. I peeped. I was like, oh shit. I was going to just be a barber influencer, right? But I just unlocked this niche where people like my barber content, but it's not even barbers either. It's barbers and people outside. Yeah. And I ended up getting on this and all types of shit.